Welcome back to Refing It Up. What would it be without a third count? But this isn't the finish quite yet because we're still chatting with Gabby LaSpisa. Gabby, thank you for joining us. This has been a blast.
I'm having so much
Um,
fun.
yeah, I'm gonna hit you up with some quick rapid fire questions before the
Okay.
guys jump
Oh,
in because
Okay.
I just care. Just I'll ask them and I'll give you two options and you let me know what you say.
Ooh,
Okay.
multiple choice. I love that.
Yeah. This is
Jimmy, there's no rapid fire with you anymore at this point in your age. Now, come on now. You mean just quick questions?
yes, quick questions and yeah, I owe you a receipt for that one. That's coming. Anyway, all
Yeah,
right.
don't let him talk
R-
to you like
r-
that, Jimmy.
yeah. Okay. Here we go.
Well, I
Just a
can't talk
couple.
to you like that, so I might as well talk to somebody.
Well, I'm gonna teach him.
He knows I'm way up here in Canada and can't reach him. So all right. Okay. Really quick. First one here. The DM slide. Yay or nay?
The DM slide?
Yeah.
What does that mean? Like,
This is a
what do you,
great start.
what do you mean?
You know.
Yeah,
Oh, like someone sliding in my
sliding in
DM?
DMs.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
Oh my god, sure. Yay. It's
You don't
if
mind?
there's someone I like, sure.
Okay. All right. Most overrated hot girl habit.
Um, I would have to say, oh, matcha.
Matcha?
Like the
No.
matchas.
Okay.
They're
Okay,
disgusting.
we're back at you. What's that?
You don't know what matcha is? Like the matcha
You don't know,
teas?
like a
Sounds
tea,
like a
yeah.
coffee. It sounds like a coffee.
It's
Yeah,
not coffee.
is
It's a
it-
green like it's green. It's like I don't know, herbs and friggin' it's just a green like everyone gets like an iced matcha at Starbucks. Be a grown up and get a coffee.
Oh,
Yeah. Get coffee. Yes.
Get a
Please.
coffee. Be a
Yeah.
grown up.
Thank you. Thank you. Worst offense: bad texter or bad kisser?
Bad kisser.
Okay. All right.
That's
Okay. One more. One unpopular opinion that would get you kicked out of brunch group.
Taylor Swift is overrated.
yes.
No, you would be invited right into
You'd be
No.
invited in ours.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah, but not brunch with my friends, that's for sure.
Really? Wow.
Is
They
she
all
over
hurt
with
sex.
all your friends? She's over with all your friends?
Oh my God. One of my best friends was getting married and we went to Nashville for her bachelorette and the theme was Taylor Swift. The theme.
How's the theme of
So
person?
unbelievable.
It's how is anything all about one person? I just don't get it. Like maybe my ears don't work. I don't know what it is, but like I listen, she's not terrible, but I think
Mhm.
the pedestal that she's put on is wild.
So I would say this. I think I would enjoy going to her concert because I think she performs. I think she puts on a great show. But I'm not like buying all her albums and going crazy and have to get every little special
just-
thing that gets put out there. Like I didn't even understand why she remade all of her albums. And somebody explained to me and it made sense when I heard it, but I was like, wait, why is she remaking these albums already came out like 20 years ago? What's going on? So yeah.
It's all for her. Like I just
Right.
think people don't like I'm very weird when it comes to her because I just think it's cult like I think it's very even Swifties turn on each other because they're like, oh, that's you're not even a real Swiftie because you didn't know her at this. Like, who cares? If you like someone, you like someone. Like it's why it's a crazy fandom to me. And even talking about the fact that I think she's overrated, people are going to come for me, not in the pro wrestling world probably because they don't care. But I just think if you put her up against people that are phenomenal singers, she's a songwriter, which is great. She's a great songwriter. She writes catchy songs. She can't sing and she can't dance. You can't tell me otherwise.
Agreed.
Are you telling me that diehard Swiftie fans are like diehard wrestling fans?
They're worse than wrestling fans, I think.
Really?
Yeah, I think they're way worse.
Because
Way
because
worse.
wrestling fans are like, if you haven't been watching New Japan Pro Wrestling since 1982, you're not a real
Yeah.
wrestling fan.
I would rather fight with a 45-year-old man that's a pro wrestling fan than a 15-year-old girl who thinks that this girl is the coming of Jesus Christ because I don't want to fight with a little girl. And that's her fan base. Even though she's
Well-
35 years old, when your fan base is 15-year-old girls, I think that's odd.
It's I also can't stand fighting with people that think LeBron's better than Jordan either. So
Yeah,
that's a
I
whole
can't
thing.
even do
Oh,
that.
thank God. Thank God.
I
So-
can't.
Gabby-
And don't get me started about
Wait, no.
women's basketball that people think Angel Reese is as good as Caitlin Clark because I'll lose my shit.
No,
then,
Caitlin
well,
Clark
you will
is
have to worry about
amazing.
that.
I
Caitlin Clark's
can't.
amazing.
So have you ever
can't
ran
take
across somebody like this, Gabby? I know you have. I know you have. So for a while, right? I never call anybody ugly because I don't believe that anybody's ugly. I really don't. but
On the inside, maybe.
I'm talking about facial.
Yeah.
Like
Yeah,
looking
I
at
know, but on
somebody.
the inside, there's some
Cosmetically.
Absolutely.
ugly SOBs out there. But anyway.
Yep. So for the longest time, I thought Taylor was a cute person.
Sure.
Nothing over the top for me, just a cute person. And then when she got with Kelsey, and I'm watching my sport, which is football, and they continue to show her the entire fucking game,
Yeah.
she is now very unattractive to me. I can't stand seeing her fucking face. I want to punch her fucking face every time I see it. And I'm being dead honest and not trying to be funny. I'm
Yeah.
being dead ass.
Yeah.
I'm dead ass right now. Yeah, there's got to be somebody that you have thought the same thing about.
Oh, like someone they show all the time. That's annoying.
And it just gets on your nerves, and they're not a
I mean,
bad looking
her
person.
and like, but I
There
blame
you
the
go.
NFL. But I blame the NFL for that because
Me too.
NFL has turned into pro wrestling. You're going to
Yes.
tell me they don't want the Chiefs in every Super Bowl because Taylor Swift and all her friends are going to show up? You're out of your mind if you think that that's not
right.
what it is. Especially this last season, I've never enjoyed a football season less than I have this last NFL season. Honestly.
Well, I'm a Commander
Thank
fan. and I
God the
haven't seen-
Eagles wiped. It's the first time in my life I was cheering for the Eagles. I never thought I would see the day that I would want the Eagles to win, and I did. And I was
But
happy.
Gabby-
Wait,
Gabby,
hold on,
you gotta-
hold on. Are you Jets or Giants fan?
See, this is where it gets weird. And
Oh, it's got to.
I'm okay. I'm a Packers fan because
Oh, what a shot.
Oh wow, okay.
yeah. So my dad, like I told you, was from a different country. So when he came here, when he was like 7 years old, he didn't speak good English. So he actually, before he played soccer, became All-American, all these things, he started to play football to try to fit in. And he started watching Vince Lombardi and the Packers. So he fell in love with them. So when I started watching football later on, I would watch with my dad and he loved the Packers. So that's why I love the Packers. It was just one of those things.
Mhm.
Okay.
Can't help it.
Wow.
But
I like the Packers. I'm
there's
not a
nothing to
Packer
really
hater.
not like. You kind of love love, you know what I mean? How do you not?
Yeah.
Mhm.
I mean, I'm interested to see what Aaron Rodgers is going to do with the Steelers this year, but
Oh my God. Incredible.
yeah, but I
Gonna
always-
break a hip. He's probably gonna
I like
break a hip or something.
I liked Aaron Rodgers.
I hope
the
he plays
Packers-
well with them just so because Jets will cry.
Just to shut people up, I want to see him do good.
Mm.
I just
I
hate
know,
when
same.
people- people
And I
play
hate
or
the
hate.
Steelers, and I actually want to see him do good. So
I know. It's
like-
Aaron
it's like-
Rodgers.
It's like
Come
when
on. I hope
Brady
he has a
went-
great year.
It's like when Brady went to Tampa. Everybody wanted to see him fail, and I'm like, why?
well, let's not talk about Brady. I'm not a Brady fan at all. So
Hey,
Yo,
hey,
hold on,
hey,
gotta
hey,
stop.
Hey,
That's
hey,
called
hey.
hate. That's called hate. I know you're a Buffalo fan. I don't give a fuck. All I'm saying
who's
is
a
this.
Buffalo fan? Me?
I
No,
am.
No,
RJ.
RJ.
I'm pointing at RJ. All I'm saying is this. Why are you going to not like this guy? Because he wins. That's why you don't like him. And he beat
No,
your team.
He cheated.
Who else is not doing it?
That's okay. Peyton Manning didn't cheat.
Oh, Peyton Manning, he did cheat.
Oh my God,
They all cheat.
Peyton Manning.
They all cheat.
And
They
they're
just
all
don't get caught.
Right.
Look at Patrick Mahomes. He
I
didn't have
agree.
to. He
That's why
didn't
pro
have to
wrestling
cheat.
is life. Screw
well,
every other sport.
Patrick Mahomes didn't have to cheat because he had the officials on his side. Hey,
Well, yeah, exactly.
Eddie Guerrero lied,
Ah.
cheated, stealed.
Yeah, whatever. Yes.
Right.
I do got a question on this. You brought up earlier about Busted Open. You were talking about the shifting of the host or whatever, and maybe you can't explain this or not. I don't know, but like, what's the reason behind the rotating guests? Because I do like certain days better than other days. I'm just going.
Yeah.
Dave, I'm being honest out there. I know you listen to the show. Some days I listen to it better than others because of who the hosts are. What's the difference of why is that rotation? I mean, obviously maybe because of the talent, but what is it? What is that? Obviously when you're producing it, is it like, okay, well, so-and-so, Tommy's in the night, so we definitely got to talk this or this, and we
Yeah.
can save something else for the next day when Mickey's on the show or whoever, right? So
Yeah. I mean, I think it depends. Like when I was working, they were set on certain days. And then because then they know what they have to watch for the week. And then they know it's just easier too for the talent because they're also doing a lot of other stuff. So it's like if, Tommy knows he has to work Wednesday morning, then he knows he's watching NXT on Tuesday night. So he knows like to not. So it helps them out to have the set schedule as well because they have to watch the stuff to then talk about it. And it helps us out because, you're done with Busted Open, whatever, and then 5 o'clock rolls around, you got to watch pro wrestling. You need to know who to communicate with to be like, this person is a guest on the show tomorrow. Have some questions prepared. So it changes, more so too, depending on the schedules, I think, of them changing or things that they're doing. Say they sign a new contract with one company and then now work for a different company and they can't talk about that company. We're not going to put them on the day after that show when they're no longer with that company anymore and can't really talk about it. So it's always kind of different. And now it's exactly what Dave has wanted, which is a bench full of star-studded hosts. You know, they just signed Cardona, they have Natty, they have Baron Corbin. So that's something he's always wanted because they all have different perspectives depending on the shows, and they're all different places in their lives when it comes to pro wrestling. Some are very active, some aren't wrestling anymore. So I think it really all depends on contractually how many days they need as well, and kind of what they're also doing in their personal lives, because it's very easy to kind of switch it up if we have to.
Gabby,
One
when
thing
you
about
say
it-
it's hard,
oh.
Danny, real quick,
Oh,
because I want to touch on that.
yeah.
Go ahead. Go ahead.
Oh, I was gonna say, and it's probably a lot easier now having all those people
It is.
when you could do it, after the COVID era, you could do
Yeah.
everything from home or whatnot, like we're doing here. Like, we're all not in the studio, we're all sitting in our own home.
Right.
You know, so-
Right. It's definitely it's hard to explain because like I loved going into studio because like that's where it was fun. Like right before COVID, we got into like a nice swing. We got a big video studio, and it was like Dave would come in every day. Tommy would come in on his days because he doesn't live too far. Sometimes Bully could come in depending on the guest. Mark was a little harder because he would have to get on a plane. But that's where you kind of get the best juice out of stuff, because if we have an in-studio guest and you're sitting there and like shooting the shit, it's always more fun. So
yeah,
there is
100%.
like something I think lost in having to do everything online and doing with like video and webcam and stuff, as opposed to like being there in person. But it does make it easier because all these talents and all these hosts live in different places in the world, in the country. So it's like, and if they're traveling too, it's nice. Tommy will be traveling for TNA, but still doing the show because he could do it in the hotel, as opposed to like having to worry about coming in. So it keeps the options way bigger and makes it a little bit easier for sure.
And not only that, though, Gabby, it makes sense what you're saying because, think about this. If let's just say I was on Busted Open, okay, and I was in the morning with Dave every day, that means I would have to be sharp and
Right.
stay up and watch everything. Where Bubba can concentrate on Monday Night Raw,
Yeah.
he can concentrate on NXT, and then his week's over with, basically. You see what I'm saying? So
Yeah.
he can watch other stuff, but he didn't have to concentrate so hard. So
Yeah.
it makes much more sense so they can be on their P's and Q's to know everything about that show.
Yeah. And like, listen, that's why Dave is the guy. He created the show. It was his idea. He's on every day. And these guys, he steers the ship. Like, I don't think people realize how much he's done. And like
We
this was
do
just
here. We do.
yeah, we do. And like someone like me realizes because, I would talk to him every day and he's very much involved in everything because this is his show. And like, so I'll always say like, yeah, of course, having the other hosts is massive, these big names and like whatever, but Busted Open would be nothing without Dave.
Right.
And that's just what it comes down to. And he had a vision, and what he's done with it is nothing short of amazing. And what he gives to the pro wrestling community and what he does and how hard he works is just something that should be very admired by anybody that wants to get into the business.
The one thing I want to happen though, it needs to happen soon or within the next year, is Dave LaGreca needs to be able to talk clearly on the air to Dwayne the Rock Johnson.
Yeah.
Oh, yes.
Listen,
That
I think you
needs-
pissed him off enough that I don't know if
That needs to happen. Like that interaction needs to happen, because it would be money and it would be the greatest episode of Busted Open of all time.
listen, I would love to see it. I would rather see it in person. I want
Well,
the
yeah, of
Rock
course.
in
Yeah.
through a table or something like that.
Yeah,
But
yeah.
Oh,
I think that's the goal for him for sure. But I don't know. I don't really. I talk to all the guys, some way more than others, and some not that much. But like, it's weird because it was such a big part of my life, and I look back at it to be like I wouldn't be anywhere that I am now, having to show people even knowing who I am and doing what I'm doing if it wasn't for Busted Open. But also it's weird because like I am not a part of it at all, and it's like weird to watch it from the outside or see things, because it's like, oh, maybe if I was the producer I would do that differently, or kind of it's
So
it's just like it was like a break. It was like a weird like breakup that wasn't anybody's fault
yeah.
except the company, and it's like weird to like still love them so much
So
from
so
afar.
so if you got the opportunity to come back as just a talent, an on-air host or on air,
Yeah.
would you do that?
I mean, of course I would. I would never say no to that, but I don't see it happening when they're signing talents like Natalia and like you're signing names. Like
Yeah.
I'm nowhere near close to that. So of course, I would love that. I haven't even been asked to come back and be a guest on the show. You know what I mean? Like I don't know if the company would even want that. Like I don't know if it's a good look. You know what I'm saying? To be quite honest, I have no idea. Um, and listen, it was a layoff. I wasn't fired. I didn't do anything wrong, and I didn't quit for a better job. You know what I'm saying? It's been a while now, so would I be open to it for sure? I love all the guys there. But I don't know that that's the vision. If the vision is to get these big names, like it wouldn't make sense to bring in someone like me.
So as far as that goes, like the show and being a talent and things like that, what obviously you said the company you laid off and things like that. Did you look into another like job as far as like producing for another radio station
Oh yeah.
or what? Okay.
I applied to every job I could and literally got nothing from anywhere. So
Well, I
it
know
was
radio's like a dying breed,
radio's
unfortunately.
dying.
Yeah.
And there's been like, I think another 2 or 3 rounds of layoffs since I got laid off from
Hmm.
Sirius. Like
Yeah.
Sirius 2 is doing massive layoffs. So, I was in the first round of massive. It was like almost 500 people lost their jobs when I lost my job. Some people that worked there for like 20 years, like legitimately were huge names in other departments. They were also gone. So it's not like it was something personal or anything like that, but like I just think it is hard in radio. I think the one thing that COVID did well or was a positive was that it opened up the world of podcasting to a point where people love it and need it now. Which if COVID didn't happen, I don't even know if it would be as big because, that's what people were turning to when they couldn't watch things live or see things in person. So, podcasting is its own entity now, but I just think live radio, people aren't listening to things live as much as they were anymore
No.
because you could throw on the podcast when you're driving to work for the first hour, even if it's not at the live times, or you could listen to it later on. So
Right.
it's a crazy world we live in. But yeah, I tried really hard. I got nothing. And I wasn't even getting interviews. Didn't matter who my recommendations were. Didn't matter. I did 5 years. Didn't matter what I was doing. And then that's when I was like, fuck it, I'm gonna do it myself and I'm gonna do my
Yeah.
own show. I want to be on air anyway. And that's what I did. And the amount of people in the business, talent especially, that reached out to me and were like, whenever you need me to come on, I'm coming on. Like that's where I knew everything I did was worth it because I wasn't just like a producer where I was like, hey, can you come on tomorrow? Like I made connections as myself and made connections as a person and people liked me, which I was very happy about. Like literally
Yeah.
Cody Rhodes was like, whenever you need me, he was like my second guest and he made it happen. It's Cody fucking Rhodes. He was the champion at the time. And he's like, he wasn't the champion at the time, but it was right before
Right.
all that went down. And for him to be like, yeah, no, whenever you need me, set it up. Ric Flair, whenever you need me, I'm coming on the show, like calling me, being like, what do you need? Like to have people do that it opened my eyes to like the community that pro wrestling is. And like it was nice because some people don't say they want to help and they don't,
Hmm.
or they don't
Right.
care.
Yeah.
And I've really opened up my eyes to a lot of people I thought were my friends and are not my friends whatsoever, and don't give a shit about me or want me to fail because it looks better for them. I'll never be
Hmm.
that person. I will never ever want someone to fail to step over them because I think if you're talented enough and if you work hard enough, you could get there on your own and there's enough seats at the table for everybody if you
Exactly.
do the work.
Hmm.
Don't ever try to make someone feel bad to make yourself look better. I just hate that shit so much. And it's happened to me a lot. Um, but you got to kind of like stay positive because hopefully the good people win in the end.
No, they do. Trust me, they do. And I love that attitude because, like you said, you've had people shit on you,
Yeah.
and but you decided to take the. I don't want to say take the high road. Just you're decided that you're going to be you,
Yeah.
and
Exactly.
that comes from within. That
Right.
whole positive attitude and wanting to be not that person that craps on everybody else like others do. That comes from within. That is a personal choice of yours that comes naturally. You don't,
Right.
you know what I mean? Because some people like, you can tell the fakers, the
Yeah,
people who are
Yeah.
fake nice to you.
100%. And like even when I got laid off, it was, like that show was my heart and soul my whole life. I got we got like an email that morning that they were doing massive layoffs, and everyone was freaking out. We were in the middle of the show. Everyone was freaking
Mhm.
out. And they were like, there's no way, Gabby. Like, don't worry. Like, everyone, don't worry. Everybody's worrying. And then they're like, if you get a calendar invite, that's when you like know. And I remember the show ended and I got a fucking calendar invite and I
Uh,
knew it. Like my
What does
heart,
that? What's that mean? A calendar
like you have a
invite?
calendar invite with like the head of the department and like someone from
Oh,
HR to tell you that you're laid off, basically.
oh, okay.
So I got a calendar invite at like 12:30. The show ends at 12. And I remember I called Dave. I'm sobbing immediately. And he's
Oh,
trying to be Dave because Dave's like, you don't know, maybe they're promoted. Like, this is Dave. You know what I mean? Dave
mhm.
also is freaking out now because we do everything together. Like, he cares about me like he cares about his daughter. You know what I mean? And they made me wait until 4 fucking 30 for my Zoom call, but they told me at 12:30. So now for 4 hours, I'm supposed to do my job, which is all the post-production stuff. You know what I mean? Like everything for the show.
right.
And I was like, I'm crying the whole day. I'm like, I know I'm about to be laid off. And it's like, what do you do? And that Zoom call was 60 seconds. They could not get me off faster because they were laying off 500 people. Like, they didn't care. They didn't want to hear from you. Like, even if they did care, they can't sit and talk to you for that long?
Right.
And so that was it. And literally, I hopped on my computer and I cut like a video of myself, like thanking everybody and just, total baby face because I was so sad and like whatever. And thank God I did because I scheduled it the next morning right before Busted Open. And they turned my work laptop off like first thing in the morning. I wouldn't have been able to do anything even if I wanted to because it was
Oh,
gone.
Gabby, you
And
you do have a heart.
I know I do,
Mhm.
unfortunately.
You
Um,
do. I knew
but
you
yeah, so it's
did.
great. And that video, I put up that video, 500,000 people viewed that video on
Oh,
Twitter. Literally like 500 something thousand from what had happened. And like I wasn't even allowed to come on the show and like say goodbye, like do anything. Like I didn't even know it was my last show when we were doing it, that was the hardest part for me, was like you I wasn't going to be there forever. I always had dreams of being on air and doing these things, but you think you can go out on like your own terms, and when you can't, it kind of sucks.
Mhm.
But shit happens. What are you
Yeah.
going to do?
Well,
It's life.
yeah, it's one of those things too where you want to, you want to have your send off, right? You want to actually officially have your send. And I will say that next day they did you justice. I mean,
Yeah.
they gave you the send off. I think did you come on too and talk like over the phone or
No.
something? No, okay.
No.
I
I was
maybe it was the
I-
video you're talking about. I remember hearing you
yeah.
like say whatever, but yeah.
No, it was 2 weeks of like those 2 weeks right after that happened. That was like the hardest 2 weeks of my life. And I think anyone that's been laid off probably has those feelings. Like, it's not woe is me. Everybody's
Yeah.
been through it. And
Yeah.
there's been WWE releases and people make it, and look at what people do with it, and that's what I wanted to do. Chelsea Green was one of my biggest influences of someone who like got released
great
and then like
influence.
look at what happened to her. And she's such a good person. And I'm lucky enough to call her a friend. And like she's someone anytime I'm like really sad, I'm like, fuck that. Like, make your success revenge if you're even thinking that in your head. And I'm never gonna speak ill about the company or the show that I work for because they're why I am where I am. But it was hard. And anyone that gets laid off, it's hard, but you can't make it your whole personality. And I feel like I'm trying not, you have to. I'm happy now to be Gabby and not Gabby from Busted Open anymore too, which is
Yeah.
like kind of cool.
So
So
let's do this.
real quick. I got this. I got to say this. All right, what's your thoughts on thinking of Busted Open? What's your thoughts on Busted Open 24/7? Will that happen?
I don't know why it hasn't happened yet. I don't know, and it's not because they don't deserve it. It's 100% the company, I would think, either not wanting to do it correctly or dragging their feet or something like that. Because we had been even when I was there, it should have been Busted Open 24/7. The whole channel should be Busted Open, to be quite honest with you. I
Yep.
love all the other hosts on the other shows and the other sports that are on the channel, but like Busted Open is Fight Nation at the end of the
Right.
day. Like that is the show. I remember we got rid of the repeat at the time that we had the repeat because we added like another MMA show or something. And it was like as if the world had ended because people were getting used to the replay of Busted Open at
Mhm.
that time because that's how massive the fan base is. So it should be happening. I think it's bigger than ever. And you have the stars that you have that are these co-hosts, it's bigger than ever. It should be happening right now. And I don't know why it hasn't happened yet. I'm not there to know what it takes for negotiations or whatever. I have no idea.
Well,
But I hope it happens.
the after dark
Yeah.
shows are, you got the Monday one, Tuesday one, the
Right.
Wednesday one. I mean, it's getting there. We just seen a Thursday one for after TNA, but
Right.
it's
Mhm.
getting there, and
Yeah.
I think it'll happen.
Gabby,
It's
how do you
getting
feel
there.
about roughing it up being on there sometime at some point?
Why the hell
Mm.
not?
Yeah,
I think
there you
any of these wrestling shows that do well, and why not put them on and keep talking about wrestling? You tell me a 24/7 wrestling channel you don't think would do well. And that's what's scary is it would. And I don't know if they want it to because it's going to beat out all
I
your
was
other
just
sports channels.
I was just going to ask you that question because I don't know. You've worked there, so you don't know. But is there that stigma that's still attached to pro wrestling by some
Probably.
people up in the walking, talking zombies on the 37th floor, as Dave likes to refer to them?
Yeah, I mean, probably. I don't like, I was never in with the higher ups to like know, but I feel like you can't really like see what Busted Open is doing, breaking records, massive numbers, live shows. It's in merch. Like no other show in the sports format is doing that. No, like not, and if they are, they're not doing it as well. And it's crazy what they're doing. You're seeing Dave on NXT. They're doing pre-shows for TNA. Like
Hmm.
this is massive, and this is something that the fan base is only getting bigger. They have a fan base that has a YouTube show talking about the show. Like literally, they have Nation's Corner, which is it's like Howard Stern level. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
Like,
But
and Howard Stern gets whatever he wants. So I don't understand why Busted Open's not getting handed everything they want unless it's something else like that. But I don't
Yeah.
know. I think 24/7 will happen. I don't, and I hope it happens soon because I know that's Dave's vision
Hmm.
and he deserves that to happen for him because he works his ass off and he's good
Yeah.
at what he does.
Yeah, I'm surprised that they don't see this because what
Yeah.
is that fan festival that happens in New York every year where from every major sports they come and they do
Fanatics
this
Fest
Fanatics Fest, yes.
next
And
weekend.
it's next weekend, and every WWE superstar that is scheduled to be there has their appearances have sold out. Their
Yeah.
meet and greets have sold out. Their
I
lines
think
are
they
longer
hate
than
it.
anybody's there.
Yep. I think it's
That should be hello, that's the bat signal.
right.
Hello, Commissioner
Right.
Gordon.
Not only that, WWE Raw is on Netflix every Monday. It's
Mhm.
on Netflix. What other sports show is on that streaming platform? Like, I just like don't, it's massive. Like, you can't tell me people know what Raw is that aren't even pro wrestling fans because they watch Netflix or, Cena's there now. And like, you can't tell me it's not hitting different areas that other sports are not. If Travis Kelce wasn't dating Taylor Swift right now, half that audience wouldn't be there either.
I agree.
Good
I
point.
agree.
It's just crazy. There's mainstream things, and pro wrestling is there's no slowing it down. It's only getting more shows and getting more popular.
I so thought you were gonna say if Travis Kelce wasn't dating Taylor Swift, he'd be dating one of the WWE divas or whatever. I
You'd
thought
probably be
you were gonna say that.
happier if you was.
Oh,
All right,
Just
so
saying.
we've been
he'd
talking
be, he'd
busted
be getting
open.
more airtime anyway, that's for sure.
Yeah.
Well, he gets more ass in the toilet seat, so whatever.
Yeah.
So we were talking busted open anyway. Dan, you didn't get that one, huh? But anyway, I have
I did.
okay. I have a question for you,
Okay.
and you're gonna have to dig deep, and maybe not. So, working closely with the Busted Open team, who at Busted Open do you think, and I only want you to name two, were just fun and exciting to work with? Two.
Like, are you talking hosts or
I'm
guests?
talking, no, you're people that have Busted Open that work there.
Fun and exciting.
Like you already said, Dave.
Yeah.
right?
I mean,
You don't have to answer that. I'm just saying you don't have to say Dave. I'm just saying who are two people that were just fun and exciting to work with?
Tommy was one of my favorite people because
Okay.
when it was a Tommy and like Dave day, all we would laugh like it during commercials. It's like hoarding two brothers. Like there were like the Step Brothers. Like you've ever seen the movie Step Brothers? That's Tommy and Dave together because they can't
Mhm.
control themselves. They're talking about history of wrestling. They're bullshitting about this, like blah blah. And then we go into commercial. And I'd be like, you guys got to talk about this coming out. They're like, yeah, Gabby, like yeah. And then they would come out of break laughing their asses off talking about something else. So like, I loved the Tommy days, and that's why. And Tommy has been to me probably the most like I don't think people realize what Tommy means to me in the sense of like how much he guides me and has helped me since and like more than anybody else. Like I put Tommy up there more than anybody else. He cares so much and he gives me feedback, he gives me advice. Like every week he checks in with me. Like that's who Tommy is. And I feel like he doesn't always get, the acclaim for that or like the everyone just thinks, oh, it's Tommy Dreamer. He's crazy and like he knows everything, but he's one of the greatest human beings I've ever. I'm so lucky to call him one of my best friends because he's
Very
such a
true.
good,
Mhm.
he's amazing. And he's one of the best things about me working at Busted Open is that I have that friendship with him because I could not imagine not having him in my life. Um, and honestly, second, I have to say Bubba just because
What? What?
I know everyone's gonna
Well,
hate me for saying Bubba, but
No, you're not.
no,
I'm
no.
the biggest Bubba fan. Me and him talk a lot. We talk a
listen,
lot.
listen, I love them all, but Bubba's
SMD.
one of those guys that like he's a Jersey guy like me. Like we just get each other and everyone thinks he's a dick, which is the funniest thing ever because he's just so straight shooter, but
Mhm.
that's how I am. I can't be that way as a producer because I have to like I can't piss you off. And like listen, is he a scary dude if he's not happy? 1000%. But he knows what he likes and he knows what he doesn't like and he knows things about business and he's been in this for a really long time
Mhm.
and he's a good dude with a good heart always at the end of the day and he's always honest with me and that's the most I want from anybody. It's so scary that the hardest thing to find in someone is honesty because they'll
Yes.
lie right to your face. He'll never
Mhm.
lie to my face about anything and that's why I love him. If I'm like, what did you think of this, he'll tell me I don't really like that or you don't look good in that. I appreciate that so much. But we also like we text about the movie Fatso because like we fuck with each other about those kinds of things and like we text pizza pictures and like pasta and like that's what me and him joke about or like DJs down the shore. Like he's such a like he makes me laugh. We have so much fun together like when we're actually doing shows and stuff. Like he's hilarious.
So,
Um
Gabby, would it be a fair assumption to say this about Bubba? Now, I have another question. I'm coming back to it in a second.
okay.
But wouldn't it be a fair assumption to say, because this is the way I saw him at first until I cracked the code. He's a guy that just looks intimidating.
Yeah.
And so you immediately think, oh, this guy's intimidating. And then when you hear him talk to you, which is that Jersey
Yes.
thing that he has,
Yeah.
now you're completely bought in that he's intimidating as fucking whatever.
Right.
So you'd want to stay away from that guy. Me personally, I'm a crazy motherfucker. And I'm
Yeah.
like, no, I want to tap into this dude.
Yeah.
I want to tap into, and I did. And we have become best friends. Not best friends, but very close individuals. If I text him right now, he would text me right back. If he texts me, I would text him right back.
Yeah.
And what I mean by that is you have to learn the individual he is. He's actually a very kind-hearted person.
He is. He has a great heart. He really
He's a
does.
big heart too.
Yeah.
He's
He does.
he's very passionate about what he believes in.
Yes.
And that's where the intimidation comes in.
Yeah, and I
Mhm.
think he's very smart and like
He's very
I think
smart.
that's also something that intimidates people because he
Yes.
knows things and like he also can read people better than probably anyone I've ever met before, which is scary because
Yeah.
you can't lie to Bubba because he'll call it out in 2 seconds.
Yes.
And he'll know and he'll be like and he won't say anything. He's not going to be confrontational about you, but he'll fucking remember that you lied to him about that
Yeah.
and that will sit with him and he'll remember it every single time he comes in contact with you and it's going to be the reason why he doesn't work with you or he won't trust you or something like that. But when you earn his respect or you do something where he compliments you or it's like, oh, good job with that, it's like the best feeling in the world because
Yes.
you
You earned it.
actually did a good job and he's not just going to fluff it up. You know what I mean? Like he gives me advice all the time, and he's always willing to like listen. And sometimes it's hard truths I don't want to hear, but I'm not going to get that from anybody else. And he's fun as shit too. Like if we drink together, or like eat and like talk about food,
He's
like
the best.
he's the best. And I think people see him differently than he actually is. We used to joke on the show. He used to be like, Gabby, I'm the baby face and Dave is the heel. And like it would be the joke because he would be like, I don't, like that's, I always say in person, the heels that I meet, the people that play the heels on TV are usually nicer than the people that play the baby faces, which is
You're
funny.
right. So, Gabby, I have to say one thing real quick, and then I have my second question, which is still off Bust Open.
Okay.
There was a spot where he worked with Sting at TNA.
Okay.
It was a big moment for the world title, and they were looking how to come up with a finish. And I was in the meeting, and I came up with an idea, and I just blurted it out, and Bubba loved it.
Mm-hmm.
And at the time, Bubba being Bubba, he goes, "You don't fucking say a word that was your fucking idea." And I was like, "Not a problem, bro. I mean, ever. And I was like, no problem. Yeah. I was like, no problem. And it was cutting the whole pad, raising it up, going through the boards with Sting, which, by the way, if you ever see that came from Brian Hebner.
Gosh, I want to watch it now.
I'm telling you. But then I talked to him the other night, and I was like, Bubba, why do you not trust me when I'm asking you this question? Because I wanted to find out something. And he goes, I don't know why I wouldn't trust you. I'm like, didn't you tell me to never tell the story about the fucking ring gimmick? And he goes, brother, I've already told people that already.
Yeah.
And I was like, oh, I did not know that. He was like, I have already told everyone it was your idea. Yeah. I was like, well, why the fuck don't I know this? I've been shutting up for fucking how long and not saying a word.
Right.
And so that's what a good duty is, though. I mean, like, he wanted to release it when it was okay. He wanted time to go by, not have a referee get, you know what I mean? And I get that.
Yeah. No, I get it. That's him.
All right, here we go.
Finish off. I want to hear the other part of this question.
All right. Here, put your cap on. You already have it on.
Yeah.
All right. Well, who were two that you can name that were not as fun and exciting to work with?
First
Gabby,
of all,
you better be a shooter. You're from fucking Jersey. You've been on us all goddamn night. Don't fucking hold back now.
By the way,
yes.
When I was working Busted Open, I don't think you realized like there wasn't as many hosts as there are now. So besides the one we listed, the only other host that was there at the time was Mark, because that was the revolving. Like I was in it before everybody else, and a little bit of Thunder Rosa and Mickey James by the end of it. But like it wasn't like these new people who I never worked with Nick on Busted Open or Baron or Natty or Cardona. Like all these new, and even like the Saturday show was the Saturday show, but Mark did it with like not like a wrestler, and the Sunday show didn't exist. So I can't even name two because there wasn't really two. And honestly, like nobody was boring. Mark Henry was one of the most ridiculous people I ever met in my life. He would say shit sometimes, and like he's so funny. Mark is one of the funniest people ever. And Thunder Rosa is one of my closest friends, and so is Mickey James. So like I became so close with them. So there's nobody like I didn't like working with. Was there producers I didn't like working with? 1,000 fucking %. Was there board ops I didn't like working with? 1,000%. I disliked working with the staff more than the actual host. The hosts were never the problem.
Well, then Gabby, bury somebody. Fuck it. I don't care. If we don't know them, just bury them.
But there's nobody to bury that's currently working on the show.
Oh, well, that sucks. So this question out the door.
I know. Unfortunately, I like them all, and they all still talk to me, so I can't bury any of them.
See, we asked Paul, the producer, this question. He got heat the next morning on the radio.
Who did he bury, Paul?
He didn't bury him. He just said who wasn't as pleasant to work with. That's
who did he say?
Guys, help me out. One was Dave, because Dave, he said, is very spoiled, has to have all his shit.
Was it Bully?
That's right.
No.
And there's no way he would say anything about Bully, because Bully would destroy him if he did.
Yeah. No, I can't.
Who was it?
I'm pretty sure it was Dave, and I don't remember the other one. I don't think you got to
Dave. I mean, Dave put him on air and went, "What do you fucking mean, you motherfucker?"
Yeah. You don't go after the head of the show. I don't understand.
It was all in fun. Like he was
hilarious.
really, And who was the other one, guys? Come on.
I don't remember.
Oh my goodness.
It wouldn't have been Tommy.
Nobody's ever going to say Tommy.
No.
Maybe it was one of the new people because he could do that when they're new. You know what I mean?
Oh, was it Nick? Was it Nick?
I,
Maybe.
I don't know.
Yeah.
I don't know. But anyway, Gabby, I don't know. But that's fine. That's fair
Oh,
enough.
by the way, when I got laid off, Paul was only the producer for like 6 months. He was only working with the show for like 6 months, so I didn't even get to work with Paul that long.
Really? Wow.
How was
'Cause it was
Paul?
yeah, it was. Well, no, not 6 months. It was like a year, I would say, because he started around WrestleMania when we were in Dallas, and then I got laid off
Okay.
that March, so like almost a year together,
Gotcha.
but not that long. But maybe Paul.
I do have to give Paul credit because he's good coming back from break with hitting music that kind of sticks with the topic that they went out on.
But is that
Yes.
always him or is that Andre?
I know,
Maybe,
right?
maybe it is Andre.
Well, so like when I worked there, we had to switch off different days being at
Right.
home who was running the board.
Right.
So I don't know that it's probably Andre. I mean, Andre's the longest reigning one that's been there since I left, because Andre started a few months after me, not with
Right.
Busted Open, just like with the channel. So he's been there for a while too.
Do you have heat with Paul?
No,
Okay.
you can't have
Just
you with Paul. He's like too nice. What am I gonna, I fuck with him all the time I see him, but like, he's too nice to have like real heat. You know what I mean?
Dave has
He's
heat
a
with
nice
Paul
guy.
Dave has heat with Paul for being the one when he worked. Is he the one that worked at WB and took all the
Yeah.
he's the one that like took all.
He's the one that took the music out.
Yeah, took all the music and all.
Oh,
the,
yeah.
edited all the WWF stuff and all that. You
Oh
know,
my God. Yeah.
that was his job. He had to do it. And that's.
I was more angry because I loved Eddie so much, and Eddie only started a few months before I got laid off. So I didn't even get to like enjoy the era with Eddie being my boss, which would have been epic because I don't know how much you know about Eddie, but like Eddie has been at Sirius for a while, but he's like a
Right.
Jersey guy. We used to like take the bus home at the same time, and like I loved Eddie. So it sucked because like I was so excited when he got the job for Fight Nation, and I only got to enjoy it for a few months with him until I got laid off. So like that would have been a cool dynamic because Eddie's really awesome.
So
Yeah,
so interesting question you talk about there. I just thought of this. So somebody that grew up watching and listening to him, but I haven't listened to him probably in like 10 years. But was Howard Stern ever in studio? Did you ever see Howard Stern?
I never saw Howard Stern, and I heard rumors that like he's in like his own section in the office,
Yeah.
and he like doesn't talk to anybody that's not in his section of the office, kind of like
Huh.
I've heard that about like he's too
good.
separate from everybody else.
Well, even
I think
Dave
he's
like
also
had an interaction with him one time or something. Dave was like making it a big deal about it, right?
Oh,
Like,
really? Like a bad one?
I don't know if it was bad or it was almost like
Hmm.
he was talking about how it never happens, and he was explaining like
I've
happened.
never seen him walking around the offices before. He's someone I've never seen. I've seen a lot of people, never saw him, but I feel like he's kind of the reason we had massive layoffs because they gave him that new deal right before that happened. It was millions of dollars. So I kind of blame Howard Stern for me getting laid off. Just saying.
Yeah, fuck Howard Stern.
Wow. I'm
I
not gonna
don't
say
give a
that,
fuck.
but
I will. Fuck it. What's he gonna do? Hire me or fire me?
it's true.
how are you to fire you?
Is it
Whatever.
still like really a big thing? Like, do people still
I don't think so.
What, love Howard Stern? I think it still is a thing. Yeah.
crazy? Dave is so much better.
Oh, I mean,
Oh,
yeah.
It's
I haven't
wild.
listened, but again, I haven't listened to Howard in such a long time. Even though I have Sirius XM
Yeah.
subscription, I haven't listened to Howard in such a long time. But I remember it was a thing. Like Howard was the man, for a
Yeah.
long time. Baba Booey,
I'm
still a thing.
I'm too busy listening to yacht rock radio, so I can't.
Yacht Rock.
Yeah.
Oh man, you seem like a Yacht Rock guy, Jimmy.
I
Because you're so chill. You're so chill. I just imagine you listening to chill stuff. You know what I mean? Like you're not listening to like screamo rock. You're like a
He's
chill
listening to
guy.
He's listening to
No,
Jimmy
every
Buffett.
every once in a while, you know what I do? Okay, full disclosure, because I do have.
Oh shit.
Uh-oh.
I'll be driving down and I'm listening to my Bob Seger and James Stewart and
Jimmy
all these
Buffett,
guys,
yeah.
Jimmy Buffet and people
Buffet.
are like, what the hell is this guy listening to? Then I'll hear some guy with some crazy ass whatever music, and I'll find that classic vinyl or something like that and have some Screaming Rush or something.
I love that.
And just
You
crank
gotta
it up
do.
right beside him, and they all look at me like, look at this old fart. I said, yeah, yeah.
That's incredible.
So, Gabby, we have come to the portion of our show that we absolutely hate that you probably love, knowing you. It is time for you to take the floor, put out all your socials, all the
Okay.
things you have coming up. Anything you want to say?
First of all, we hate it because it means it's the end of the show, not because you're plugging your shit. So he said that wrong.
No. I didn't say it wrong. I meant that we have
no,
to get
you
ready
did.
to go.
You did. It came across as if we hate this part of the show because you get to plug your shit.
Well, no, because you're leaving is what I meant. So I wanted to get that in there before I slide that DM in.
This almost sounds like a Key and Peele, skit.
A skit?
Is that what you called it, Jimmy? Jimmy, what'd you call it?
You like slide Key and Peele? Yeah. Slide into the DMs, man. People do it all the time.
Yeah, I'm gonna slide to your DM.
The way you said DM slide, yay or nay, was one of the funniest things.
Right, me too.
That was my favorite part. I love the the yay or nay questions about stuff. I think that's so cool. You don't even ask follow-ups.
Okay. I'm gonna ask her one.
Wait a minute. I got one.
Yeah, okay. I love this. Is my favorite part.
Okay, I know we're keeping you longer, but it's okay because everybody. I like asking everybody about. We talked about the car, like everybody travels together. But I'm changing it up a little bit. Okay, you're dropped on a deserted island.
Oh God!
And you can only have 3 people with you on that deserted island.
Okay.
Who are those 3 people?
For fun, pleasure, and support.
From the pro wrestling world? Let's see.
No, it doesn't matter. It doesn't matter.
Doesn't matter.
No, anybody you want. Anybody you want.
Oh God. That's very hard because I don't know. I would hire okay. It would have to be because my first thought goes to food because I gotta eat. So I would be hiring I would bring a Bobby Flay or something. I need someone to make the food.
Okay.
Okay. So
really smart.
Yeah.
That was actually a very intelligent answer.
Yeah.
I'm very smart. I went to Penn State, guys. I'm a smart girl. I would do that. I would do that show with that guy Bear Grylls. I would bring him so he could kill the animals that try to kill me because he's lived in the wild.
Whoa.
And then I would have to bring with me, let's see, who's someone if we had to procreate that I could bring in case we needed to rebuild the world. Do you know what I mean?
Oh, okay.
Well, you would need to bring a chick because you can't talk to those dudes.
I don't need to talk to anybody. I'm not bringing a girl. What am I going to bring the girl for?
You can't procreate.
Yeah, you can.
Okay.
If we had to start a new life together or just someone I could look at, with muscles.
Who's this?
Well, if it was the wrestling world, I know who I would choose, but he's married, so I can't.
Well, it wouldn't matter at this point because
you're both on a deserted island.
Everybody knows that Randy Orton's my number one, always.
Okay,
I love Randy Orton. So would I bring Randy? Maybe he could talk to he could. I think maybe if he wasn't married, because he's very happily married and his wife is beautiful and he has kids. Yeah. So if he wasn't married, I'd bring him. If not him, maybe a Jason Momoa or Nick Bosa, because he's really hot too.
Well, Randy would RKO animals and shit that the guy could cook.
Yeah. See, I take it from a smart standpoint. I want to survive, so I'm bringing the chef who could make the food, the guy who could kill the animals because I love animals too much. I can't kill animals. Even if I'm starving, I won't do it. I'm a big animal person. So get the Bear Grylls because he'll murder them all.
I didn't realize you went to Penn State. So did Tom Hannafin.
I know he's one of my close friends.
Yeah, I did.
But a Britt Baker, a lot of Penn Staters.
Yeah.
Wow.
So my question I was going to ask when you brought up
please go with the DM one.
That's what I'm doing.
Another DM question.
All right. Here we go. Okay. If you want to say it, maybe you want to kayfabe us. I don't know.
My DMs. Okay.
Who has surprised? Who would be the most shocking person that has? Maybe it's shocking as in a good way, but it has slid in your DMs.
Oh, I can't say that.
Oh,
I can't say that because there's a lot, and it's. I don't want to ruin anybody's because the thing is I don't know if doesn't mean that I answer, you know what I mean? Because I don't know if they're in relationships or not. And I'm not here to wreck homes if they are in my DMs and they have girlfriends or they're talking to people whatever. Because I will never answer, even if I'm interested, unless I know for a fact that they're not in relationships.
Right.
But I'm also very much, I'm trying to think if there's anybody not in wrestling that I could throw.
No, we're a wrestling show. We want wrestling. Come on.
I know, but sometimes it's funny if it's other people.
Yeah, it could be. It could be non-wrestling. That's fine.
I don't know. Wrestling wise, like anyone you could think of, probably from like veterans
Oh
to active
shit!
people to
Good
like
lord!
fun stuff.
I would love to
But
just grab your phone and go through your DMs and just look.
no, but also something that I was taught by everybody that I work at Busted Open, especially Mark Henry always said too, like, I'll never like mess around in that sense unless it's anything serious, because like I don't ever want people to portray me in the wrong way of being a female in sports. And also like you
Right.
never want someone to think you got an opportunity because
100%.
you're doing any of that. And even if that's not the reason why, it will always bite you in the ass as to that being the reason why. And it's just not worth it for me at this point right now. But I don't know. So I'll keep anything on the down low until I'm at that dream job, and then I can be like, yeah, I'm messing with this one. You know what I mean?
There you go.
But have you ever gotten like really shocking ones and you're like, what the fuck? Wow. Okay. And just didn't respond, let's just say.
How about this? How about let's rephrase the question? How about this? Who has not in a slid in your DMs on that kind of way, but who has DM'd you that blew your mind, shocked you, but it was in a good way, not we're gonna, secretly hook up way, but in a way that, hey, I'm sliding your DMs because I want to compliment you or tell you something nice or whatever. And you're like, whoa, so and so just messaged me.
I will say, like, it was really cool when I posted something of me like talking about Charlotte Flair, and she like messaged me off of it with like a heart, like a thank you of like something that I said to her, because I think she's the greatest women's wrestler of all time, and I'm dying to get her on my show. So like that was really cool because it like shows that I'm not, doing this for no reason, and people are like paying attention to my show, and sometimes people actually do watch it. And if I ever were to meet her in person, like for her to maybe know who I am is kind of cool.
Yeah, for sure. See, there you go.
And that wasn't a creep, and that wasn't a boy, so no one can say shit.
Right.
Oh, you're so good and smart. I don't blame
I
you.
know.
We were trying, but we would never want you to
Listen, if Spencer gets me in with TNA, I'll tell him whatever he wants to know. I'll tell him secretly. You know what I mean?
That is bullshit.
And he'll be excited. We can talk about it for sure.
Yeah, we got it.
This is so horseshit. What are you teaming with Earl Hebner now too? Fuck.
Oh my goodness.
God.
It's a running thing. Earl trained me, not Brian. So that's the.
Is there any relation, or you guys just have the same last name?
Oh
no! He's my uncle.
I'm just fucking with
I know you are.
Wheels turning.
Ain't no wheels turning. I was just like, all right, I don't know how to respond to this.
Joke. That was a joke. I'm
all right,
funny.
well, you are funny. Hey, get your shit in. Let's go.
Oh, okay. So, I mean, we talked a lot. Sorry, I could I'd rather just mess with you. So obviously I talked a lot about Busted Open, but definitely follow my show, Gabby AF. It's a lot of fun. It's super positive. I have a lot of cool people that come on. I love pro wrestling. New episodes every Friday. You can listen to it wherever you get podcasts, and also on YouTube. My YouTube's kind of blowing up a little bit lately. So it's youtube.com/@GabbyAF show. You can follow me on Twitter and Instagram at Gab LaSpisa. That's my last name. It is GabLaSpisa if you need the spelling, as I know you want specifics. And you can follow my show Instagram at GabbyAF Pod.
Shout out to Tony, your producer. He's a good friend of mine.
Tony's one of the greatest of all time.
Best.
So last question before you sadly depart us. When are we coming on Gabby as fuck? I mean, AF.
Gabby's always funny. She's always funny.
Always funny and friends.
Always fun and friends.
We'll see. We'll see how good this episode does, and if I should bring you on my show after. You know what I mean?
Oh, well, I thought you wanted ratings, but anyway, okay, cool.
Interesting. Should I invite all of the guys here and then not tell you about it?
That'd be funny.
That
would be great. You bring Jimmy on the show. You bring me on the show, and then the next thing you know, you even bring RJ on the show, and never bring Brian on the show. That'd be.
I'm so mad. I didn't know we could have done it in person, me, you, and Jimmy, when we were in Canada. Because
for sure.
Yeah.
No, that sounded fantastic.
Yeah,
I think that would have been great.
Yeah.
In person's always better.
You can't come to Canada. Well, next time we'll do that next time. Hey, hey, we'll be. Look, I mean, I'll be in your neck of the woods in about a month, so
yeah,
hopefully
I'm sure I'll be there. with
All right, hey guys,
for the
sorry.
show.
I mean,
she's
you can always come by regardless, but yes,
Yeah, that's what
hopefully
I'm
you'll be
saying.
there in
Hopefully
a
I could be
different
there for the
aspect.
show.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right. Well, she's eating my shit for lunch. Can we go ahead and get her off here, please? Let's go.
You know, man,
Gabby,
what do you,
Gabby, you've been
Yes.
awesome. It's been so
Thank
fun.
you.
Honestly. I do think if we got to hang out, we'd have a great time. And I mean all of us. I'm not just me, you personally.
I know what you mean.
Yeah, it would be great. But thank you so much for joining. I hope you had a good time, and
Yeah.
love to have you back on at some point.
Yeah. Listen, I love this. I love talking for us, and you guys are positive, which I love. We had a lot of fun. Thank you for having me, and always down to talk some shit. And like I said, I'm an open book, so I could talk about anything. So anytime.
Awesome.
Yeah,
You know what
cool.
I like to do? I'd like to bring you on because you are such an avid wrestling fan. If you're good with it, after a big major pay-per-view and we all go over it and have you with us, would you be interested in that?
Absolutely not if you're there, but
Well, I'll call out that day.
okay, then I'll do it.
He
I'm
All
might-
right, cool.
I'm
As
just
long as I'm
kidding.
not there.
Of course I would do
As
that.
soon as this show's over, somebody's sliding in your DMs. Watch.
Yeah,
Oh,
it's not gonna
man.
be me.
Hopefully hopefully it's Bobby Flay after the island question. But who knows?
There you go. There you go.
This is great. Well, Gabby, thank you so much, and we really do appreciate it.
Thank you guys so much. I appreciate
you.
you all. I appreciate it. Thank you.
If you need
Thanks,
any
Gabby.
reffing tips or anything, just let us know.
I'll call Jimmy
There you go.
Okay. Okay, I
or
can't
Dan
win.
or Spencer for sure.
Yeah.
All right. Well,
Go
call
call
fucking
it a
Earl too.
comeback.
Call my uncle. Call my uncle.
Ooh,
Earl.
he
Call it a
would love
comeback,
me.
bro.